Alright guys, finally time to do another little update. First off, this little tank that we built, it's still doing great. I tested the chemistry. Nutrients are a little bit high. I think the nitrate was like 40. Phosphate was like 0.5. But the corals, well, the pipe organ seems fine. It's a little closed up because I just scraped the glass. I forgot to clean this one. But I have never touched that rock. I have not cleaned it in any way. Let's get a little white light. I have not cleaned it at all. Just using snails, one turbo, couple astras, and I finally put a baby blue tuxedo sea urchin in there. Oh, yeah, you can see him. It's over on the side. But the major update about this tank, one of the pajama cardinals died. The smaller one that always hid. Now, the fish store I buy these from, I have to say, it's probably the worst place to buy fish. Most of them have diseases, pests, and they're just unhealthy. So I always quarantine the fish from that store. So I'm not sure if it's my fault. It could honestly be that the fish was stressed out from shipping, from being in poor water quality after poor water quality. This tank's perfectly fine for fish. The ammonia's low. It's perfect. But there's something wrong with the fish. I don't think it was anything that I did. I think the fish was going to die no matter what. I could have gave it some medical treatments if I knew it was sick, but I didn't know. So we need to get. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave him solo and get him a different kind of little buddy, like out invertebrate, like a shrimp or something, or if I want to get him another little tiny peaceful fish, or if I just go out and get a couple more pajama cardinals. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. But we still have to put corals in here. The pipe organ's finally quarantined. It's clean. I'm satisfied with it. So I can move that out. So what kind of corals should we put in this tank? We have every species you can think of almost. So yeah, if you'd like to see any specific corals in here, leave a comment on that too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But we gotta start stuffing that thing with crazy corals. The fascination for vites, the color's coming back, starting to yellow up. It got pretty brown there. It's still growing really fast. It just got too much zooxanthellae, browned out. The corals brown out when they start uptaking too much zooxanthellae. So something was off. I believe it was my phosphate. I was carbon dosing this tank. The nutrients were up to 80, maybe above 80. So I started carbon dosing and I quickly bottomed out my phosphate. Now, that's the whole point of carbon dosing. You need phosphate for it to be effective. So I started dosing phosphate, got the number back up. It's probably zero point 0.2 right now. And as soon as I did that, the color started coming back in the phavites. One more update. We got, put my sleep. We got some new Recordia Floridas. First off, get this one. It's yellow. If I get the, it's yellow with pink highlights in the polyp and a pink mouth. I'm not too sure. Let's try white light. Oh, fail. Is that a little better? Yeah, it's kind of yellowish green with pink polyps and a pink mouth. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. A lot of times these corals right from the ocean, they lose their colors. They'll get crazier colored, and then some of those colors go away. So you really gotta let them sit before they get to their final colors. And we got this one. This one's kind of yellow too, with a little bit more orange highlights. So I'm very anxious to see how those two Recordia Floridas work out. Can't really see them. There's a lot of mushrooms in this little tank. This little mini SPS tank, it's still coming along. You start to see the green growth edges and the freshly cut Samacoras I threw in there. But not everything's happy yet. This tank's doing great. These corals grow fast always, but it's still a little dirty from when the diamond goby died. The sand started building up all kind of funk. Then when I got the new diamond goby, he started kicking all the funk up and made the rocks just blooming algae. But it's going away. I threw a couple more Astrea snails in there to get in little crevices. And after he's in there for a little while longer, doing his job, cleaning the sand, this tank will be clean again. Yes, right now this is extremely dirty for this tank. Can't see it from the front. The front's mainly plaster with corals. There's not a lot of place for algae to grow. But in the back, like this rock got covered with sand and it killed the leprechaun Samacora. The grape ape and monster jam are still doing fine back there. But this one gets covered in algae. And this right here gets covered in algae. Oh, I'll end on that side. And I finally cut the pink monopora and the kaboom monopora out before the Aquaman killed it. And I glued it there and there. One more thing, this baby flower anemone in here, it started stinging the, was it a bubblegum digitata? And it started killing it. So I cut the tips off trying to save them. And so far, it's killed it all but a little piece. So it's kind of expected. Flower anemone kills all corals pretty much if it touches them long enough. Oh, and the sexy shrimp. Right after last video, I couldn't find the male sexy shrimp. The males are the small ones, and the female's the big one. That's the female right there. So I kept watching him. For about 4 days, I could not find the male. So I thought he was dead. Went to the fish store, and I bought 3 more sexy shrimp. So the female wouldn't be lonely. Well, I threw the 3 in, and instantly, the old male came out. He was not dead. He came right out to claim his territory. So now, I have 5 sexy shrimp in here. A couple over there. So yeah, we got a lot of sexy shrimp now. And the one did not die, like I thought. It's crazy. This is like the Chalice Palace. Bubble Chalice is up there. This row that don't look as good, that one little piece back there, is because that came out of the sump. It must have been getting covered in detritus down there. Wasn't doing so well. So we cut it and pulled it out. A lot of times you have a very large colony and it's starting to look a little bad on you. Frag it. Sometimes just not getting the correct flow and all. Flow and light. Cut it up, it helps it. Sometimes. Sometimes cutting it up can stress it and kill it more. That's gotta be my favorite coral. Pretty much all the frags in this tank are available on the website. Man, the Space Invader Pectinia frags, they're getting stung and dying as fast as I cut them off the colony. Little mini colony there. Got the yellow clown goby holding it down. But yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that were stung, two that are okay. That middle one just got stung by the real acan last night. Echinata. Got some new frags of the hyper watermelon chalice. Those things are incredible. But I still probably like the Goldmeister right there and this pink chalice the most. But I don't know. You can't. Some of these other ones are pretty wild. And then the LPS tank. I mean, that's all LPS, but this is real LPS. I almost got to show you this. Don't close up, buddy. The Holy Grail micromooses are just popping out little baby heads. Pretty cool. A lot of these are. Oops. These guys are awesome. These are called Tony the Tiger. They're lords. Micromusa Lord Howenses. The tracheophilia we cut is doing great if I can get it out. Light. But the tracheophilia, which is the open brain, is healing 1,000 times faster than the lobophilia, the closed brain. It's got a growth edge, it's healing. That green area, it's growth edge. So it's healing, it's doing fine. It's also developing a little blue around that like whitish, yellowish green mouth. It's kind of cool. Whoa, kitties. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, they're healing. You gotta love a grape cristata. Whoops, as I drop it. This is one of my favorite corals. These are gold ones too. You can get these in slightly different color variants. This gold one, in my opinion, is the best one. Gold grape cristata. We call it a torch, but it's really not. I don't believe. This is as large as they get. Now they branch off polyps just like a normal torch, but they're mini torch heads. They never get large. Just makes a big colony of little heads. They're really cool. That's off. That's always off during the day. If you have a sump, set the light on it, reverse whatever the tank is. So if your tank comes on during the day, make your sump come on at night. It helps uh, level out your pH levels so it don't rise during the day and dip at night as much. But your pH starts to fall a little bit before your lights come on. I mean, before your lights go off in the evening. So I would have your sump light come on an hour to 2 hours before your main tank goes off. So it can help get the photosynthesis going, which is going to help level your pH before your tank shuts off. You can also dose any of your alkalinity buffers or kalkwasser at nighttime to help balance it instead of during the day. If you dose it during the day, you're just going to make a bigger spike and a bigger fall at night. So remember that. And then one other thing, I can't get around this. It's another one of my observations. I guess it's kind of like a mind story, as Reef Beef would say. Got a mind story for you guys. But I've noticed this over the past 2.5 years probably. Any tank I build, any house, anywhere, if it has water falling into it to break the surface tension, if it's just like a flat layer of glass, like a pond, no ripples, no current, the tank don't do as good. I'm not sure if it's oxygen exchange, if it's, I'm really not sure. I know it does help raise the pH if you have an actual waterfall dripping into it, or you can do this with your downspout where water falls down. As long as you have a waterfall of water, don't really matter how extreme it is, breaking the surface tension of the water, your corals are happier. I'm honestly not sure what does it at all. It could be, I honestly don't know, but I can't get around that observation. If you have a waterfall or your return valve as a waterfall breaking the surface tension, your corals will be happier. Your tank will be happier. The ecology will be happier. The bacteria, everything is better if you break that surface tension. Now, if you have too much flow and you do it, you will get salt creep everywhere from it splashing, so you might have to get creative with it. You could even do it in your sump, but there's just something about breaking that surface tension. I highly suggest you guys experiment with it. You know, it's all mine. I break the surface tension. Even the sump, the nozzles are above the water, so it breaks tension. You might be able to use the air bubbler, but air bubblers make a mess with salt creep. I mean, a lot of freshwater users use bubblers for their fish and all. Saltwater users don't really use bubblers. I'm not sure why. We're all growing living fish, so if it's good for freshwater, it's good for saltwater. I just don't think people like having the air bubblers in their saltwater tank because it produces more salt creep and it's not as pretty to look at. But air bubblers help too. Here's another thing I've been kicking around because I really don't like zoas, so I don't want them growing in all my tanks. I've been putting them over here in this big sump, but I don't know if the water flows too high or what, but they don't do good. There's a whole rack of zoas, and they never fully open. They're still alive, they're growing, they stay clean, but they're just not happy. And all the ones in my tanks are happy. Hey, Lou, you gotta get out of there. So, what I've been kicking around doing is taking this red grow light off here, which I've been using to grow my mangrove. Just some don't really need a real reef light. You don't need $1,000 light for your sump just to grow bacteria and microfauna and whatnot. I got this $20 red grow light off Amazon, and it's been doing fine for like 2 years. But I'm thinking about cleaning it up down here, putting a nice little rack, and growing all my zoas down here in one contained area. I can have colonies, I can have frags, but I would have to switch this light out with a real blue coral light. And I'm a little nervous about doing that because I'm going to be completely changing the spectrum. This ain't a little jump. where I can just turn it down and I'll be all right. This is a completely different spectrum. We're going from red to blue. I'm not worried about the ecology of the tank, it hurting the system. I'm real more worried about this mangrove. Mangroves grow so slow. I've been working on this guy for a long time. And the only thing that got it to grow is I missed it every day with a spray bottle. Another dollar store find. You just missed that sucker. I use our O water, so I don't even care if it goes in my tank. And that really made that mangrove take off. But I think I'm going to take the gamble. I'm going to change that light out and start growing my zoas down there. Now, this is a chocolate chip starfish. I can probably get him out for you quick. Make it slow because I don't want to hurt him. Oh, he's really stuck. Well, but this guy was awesome. And he keeps things so clean, but they're not reef safe. They'll eat coils. So that's going to be another gamble. From my experience, he only likes leptoceras, and that's when he's starving. So if I feed him, he won't eat coils. But he ends up getting hungry, and he eats my SPS. So he's down there. So I don't think he'll eat zoanthids, but we're going to find out. Now, all these frag racks that I make, I just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a light diffuser, find a cheap one, and tell them that find a chipped one, and tell them that it's broken. They'll give you a discount because they are kind of expensive. And then I just go to the Dollar Tree and I buy super glue gel. Actually, I got one right here. I buy this Dollar Tree super glue gel, green cap, and that's what I use to glue my racks together, glue my corals to the frag. When I want to make these unique rock structures, like that dirty one. It gets dirty because the urchin can't get in them crevices, but all the spots you can get to is clean. I'll keep that in mind on my next build. You have little crevices, they will get dirty. Smoother rock will stay cleaner. But yeah, I use glue to glue all these structures together. I take it outside, smash it with a hammer, glue the pieces back. If you want, you can dump a little sand or crushed rock over the glue. You'll hide all your glue seams. I don't, because I realize in a month you're not going to see the glue anyway. And then I'll get that, like, I guess it's like a putty for rock to glue your rocks together. And that's what I make these little coral holders out of with the putty. Sometimes they gotta super glue them onto the rock after they dry.